Hello, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. Free agency, first week. I think it went well. Some of the key players re-signed: Zadarius Smith, Shelby Harris, Maurice Hurst, Michael Dunn, Mr. Everything on the offensive line, Corey Bojorquez, thank goodness, and today, Rodney McLeod. And from other teams, you've got, of course, the trade, Jerry Jeudy, number 2 wide receiver, Hines, the running back, Adeniji, offensive lineman, Jordan Hicks, linebacker, Delvin Bush, linebacker, and Giovanni Ricci, fullback / tight end. Also, there was Tony Brown, a special teamer to take the place of Mike Ford. So, all in all, very good signings, especially the re-signings. The defensive line needed to have experience, and they just re-signed everyone. No, not everyone. They just re-signed the more valuable ones, probably the 2 most valuable. And I forgot Quentin Jefferson. Don't forget about Quentin Jefferson on the D line. So they re-signed Zadarius Smith, top 10 in pressures and quarterback hits. I love that signing. And Shelby Harris can put the pressure on. He's great up the middle. Mo Hurst, fantastic signing. I still think they need to sign another defensive tackle. He can't seem to stay healthy for an entire season. Let's hope he does this year. Quentin Jefferson, also a guy who can bring pressure up the middle and stop the run. You're seeing a little versatility in the D-line. Alex Wright, Zadarius Smith, and Quentin Jefferson can all play both tackle and end. So it's going to be a nice, good, solid rotation. They usually keep about 10 defensive linemen and defensive tackles and defensive ends. Of course, Bojorquez, very good punter last year. Excellent re-signing. Michael Dunn, Mr. Everything, can play both guard positions, and he's your emergency center. Like I said, McLeod was re-signed, which doesn't come as a shock. If you watch the Jerry Jeudy video, with him getting his uniform and everything, and he's in the locker room walking around, he walks past Rodney McLeod's locker, which still had his nameplate and still had his stuff in it. I didn't see this. Somebody else saw this and pointed it out. So I kind of had a feeling they were going to re-sign Rodney McLeod. Of the new guys, I love the running back, Hines. He can take 2 positions on the roster. He's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Even if Nick Chubb is ready to go day 1 down in Brazil against Philly, he's going to make the roster. He gives you that versatility, that quickness. He can catch passes out of the backfield. He's important for this new offense, this new offensive scheme, high-powered scheme that's going to make Deshaun Watson look so good. Jordan Hicks. He was with Jim Schwartz in Philadelphia. He's coming off 5 straight 100 tackle seasons. He's an excellent linebacker in coverage. He will take your Mike linebacker, Devin Bush. I've always liked Devin Bush, even though we went to Michigan. I don't care where you go to school. When you become a Cleveland Brown, you're a Cleveland Brown. Both linebackers really quick. You put them in there with JOK, Tony Fields, and Muhammad Diabete. I'm hoping they re-sign Matthew Adams. He led the team in special team tackles last year. Giovanni Ricci, he was in Carolina when Deuce Staley was. I don't know if he's going to make the roster or not, but fullback, tight end, he can block. So that's fine. Adeniji, he played quite a bit for Cincinnati. As a matter of fact, he had a lot of playing time in that AFC Championship game before they went to the Super Bowl. So he might be more than just a fifth tackle. He might, Dickerson might really like him. He might come in. You never can have enough tackles, as we saw last year. Tony Brown, special teams ace. He is Indianapolis really, really put the pressure to re-sign him. He comes back here. He wants to play for Bubba Ventrone. Very nice. So, also signed a new coach, Nick Charlton, offensive coordinator at UConn, former head coach of the Maine Black Bears. When he was at Maine as the head coach, he was known for his pro-style offense, a lot of RPO. That goes into the thinking of the new scheme, the new spread scheme, offensive scheme. Also, young guy. I like all these fresh young guys to give Kevin Stefanski a better idea. Let's face facts. The offense was getting stale. I know he did a great job with 4 different quarterbacks, but he made little tweaks in each offense with each different quarterback. This is going to be more consistent. This is going to be a overhaul that I think Browns fans are going to enjoy. Also, Mike Vrabel. Where'd that come from? A lot of people are just saying, well, it's a favor because Jim Schwartz worked as an advisor with the Titans before getting hired by the Browns. I think it's a little bit more than that. And after this commercial break, I'll tell you why I think that. So, Mike Vrabel, everybody loves him in Cleveland because he went to Ohio State. He's a little hard-nosed as a head coach. He doesn't take any crap from anybody, just like Deuce Staley. So I like that. But why was he hired? Is he going to help Jim Schwartz? Well, he's going to not only help Jim Schwartz, but he's also going to learn from Andrew Berry and the personnel department. And he's also going to be an advisor to Kevin Stefanski. He knows pro talent. And not only do you have college scouts, you have professional scouts who look at other NFL players. I think that's where he becomes valuable. A lot of people think he got a raw deal here in Nashville. All I can say is he kind of soured with the Tennessee Titans because of their former GM, John Robinson. Everybody's seen the video on draft day when John Robinson traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. Vrabel had to get up, walk away from the table. You really couldn't see what he was saying. You could see he was really mad. But John Robinson wasn't long for this world. And it wasn't because of A.J. Brown. John Robinson made several mistakes as a GM. First of all, he traded for an often injured older wide receiver, Julio Jones. Everybody wanted Julio Jones in Cleveland. No, he wasn't going to come. He hardly ever plays. And they gave up a second-round pick. And in order to get him on the contract, they had to extend Ryan Tannehill one more year this past year. Now, this past year, both he and Derrick Henry accounted for around 36% of the roster. That's why the Titans really couldn't do anything. They had 2 guys taking up a third of the roster. John Robinson. But the main reason John Robinson got canned, he had 29 draft picks over his tenure as a GM for the Titans. Only 6 of them re-signed after their rookie year. That's a terrible track record. That's a terrible waste of draft capital. And Browns fans know draft capital. We are so obsessed with our draft picks. So, Vrabel, I've heard the conspiracy theories. I'm not a conspiracy theory. So let me try to get all this right. So Jim Schwartz was hired to take over for Kevin Stefanski. So does that mean Mike Vrabel was hired to take over for Jim Schwartz? Am I doing this right? Is that how conspiracy theories work? Because I deal in facts and figures. I'm a realist. Also, today is a key day for roster bonuses. Three players, Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, and Jordan Akins, all get bonuses today. If they're on the roster at midnight tonight, they get paid. Bitonio has a $3 million, Teller has $2 million, and Akins has about a $250,000. So they could still cut him later, and it wouldn't hurt. Also, news. Jerry Jeudy redid his contract. Surprise, surprise. Now the Titans are like $9 million under the cap. So that's okay. I still think they're going to do some restructures. Andrew Berry likes to be in double digits. The rookie pool, the draft pick pool is only like $1,017,000, but your entire rookie pool, which includes undrafted rookie free agents, I heard Tony Grossi say it has to be 5 million. I don't think it's going to be 5 million. I think it's going to be more in the neighborhood of maybe 2.5 million. That's not a lot, but they also need money to sign players if they have injuries, i.e., like last year. So I still think they're going to restructure some more. I really don't think they're going to do Deshaun Watson contract, like I've said, and Elliott, the Oracle, has said. Maybe this is the year you take a break and let your payroll reset, because they did get a hefty increase, $16 million more than they thought, and $30 million more than what the salary cap was last year. So this might be the opportunity. The next big roster bonus is the 1st of May for Greg Newsome. He's going to get bumped up to around $12 million. Right now, I don't see him trading Greg Newsome unless somebody comes in and overwhelms him. It would have to be an incredible, incredible offer. Andrew Berry knows how to make trades. Look at the current wide receiver market. The Titans gave Calvin Ridley, who's the same age as Amari Cooper with far less, half the production, gave him 4 years, $92 million. A.J. Brown, before they traded him, asked for 4 years, $100 million. I'd rather have A.J. Brown. Wouldn't you? But Andrew Berry goes out. He gets wide receivers on the trade market. He redoes their contract, and he doesn't have to pay. I fully expect Nick Chubb's contract to be redone. I fully expect Amari Cooper's to be redone. We won't find out about it until later. So that's it. Just a quick breakdown on how the first week of free agency went. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Look for my articles at Fans First Sport Network. I started writing for them. And as always, we appreciate you watching, listening, and following. We're Browns fans just like you. So everybody, have a great day. Go Browns.